afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this very gloomy Tuesday afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for tuning in. For those of you watching us on TFC, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Thanks for taking the time to spend some time in my kitchen today. So, outside here in Manila, it's a little gloomy, it's a little muggy, there's a storm coming. But as always, we're pressing on in our kitchen, creating healthy dishes for everybody. For everybody in the community, all 2,000 plus people watching us on Kumu today. Magandang hapon at maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay nyo sa kusina. Well, not sa kusina, sa Mesa ni Mrs. Maraming salamat po. I just want to remind everybody that the Mesa ni Mrs. cookbook is still available and going strong on Shopee and Lazada, and all 40 delicious recipes are yours for only 250 pesos. Watch out for the Lazada and Shopee 99 sales where you can get huge discounts on this book. It's great for gifting. It's great for yourself. Have 10 copies. If you misplace it, it's no problem. For those of you joining us on TFC, if you have relatives who you want to check the show out, if you want to let them see the show, you want to check the show out, you want to tell them to check the show out, you can catch us all across TFC linear channels, Asia and Pacific on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m., North and Latin America at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, Europe and the Middle East and Africa, 7 a.m. both on Saturday. So I hope you'll message your relatives abroad, or for those of you who are watching us from overseas right now, I'd love to hear from you. Drop us a message and say where you're from. I'd love to say hi to you. So today, as always, I think my guests are always very, very special. But today, my guest is very close to my heart. It's the first time I've invited a family member onto the show. But I invited her on today because she has just launched her newest jewelry collection and has launched her online gallery and shop. So without further ado, I'd like to present my sister, Miss Lilianna Manahan.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. You can teach me how to cook?
I am going to teach you how to cook. But before that, I think we have a very cool video that I'd like to share just as a teaser. Before we see the rest of your jewelry, because I already mentioned about your collection. So let's see that video before we start. And I know our very good friend composed this for you, right?
Yeah, he's your classmate too, Paulo Garcia.
So PG, if you're out there, shout out to you. Fantastic music. You're so talented. Yeah, so as you know, I'm your biggest fan. I love every piece that I saw I am wearing one. If I switch to my other camera, you can actually see it. What's this one called?
That one's called Funk and Soul.
Funk and Soul. Okay, I know I said we talk about this later, but we already got into it. Tell us a little bit about your collection. The music sounds funky and soul-y.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. The rice is cooking, so just so you know. But my first jewelry collection is called Funk and Flux. So it's really about me wanting to celebrate even like awkward moments. So I've defined funk as several things. It's fun things, it's awkward moments, it's weird things that you find during the day, and just things that are on their way to becoming something. So the whole collection is about like celebrating all of that, whether it's good or bad, because it's really part of a bigger picture. So I wanted to incorporate like music, visuals, jewelry, and everything that has to do with art, just to enhance like everything about the experience.
Right. And like, I guess how you define funk, that's every moment of every day. Not every moment is perfect. And every memory, every creation, every, faux pas we have, that's really on its way to becoming something bigger. Such a fantastic concept. And I think speaks to the mood of everything now. Like this last 18 months is just a big awkward moment, or like lots of moments just put together, and you've come up with something beautiful. So, I love it. Now, we have got 2,100 people tuning in who are going to watch you cook today. Are you ready for that?
Oh,
and,
it doesn't sound right. I hope at least I entertained you.
and they're going to get more as we go along. So today, so everyone out there, my sister, she is, what do I say? Are you new to cooking? You are, I guess, right?
Um, I love to eat, but I really just cook to live to survive. I like eating more,
Right.
so I
And
learned my survival skills from you.
recently, you've been on a health journey of your own, and I know you've been cooking a lot of your food, and that's just really translated to, like just better overall everything, feeling better, working out better, weight loss, all of that. So just tell us a little bit about like what made you go into that, because as kids you were the more active one. I was not. I still am not like great at sports.
Um, well, I guess you helped out by pointing out that veggies are, like beneficial. And then when I had to start like buying things on my own, I also saw the cost effectivity of like eating a lot of veggies more. And um it took me a while to adjust, but I saw the benefits of it. Like I feel lighter and I can survive on like I guess 80% veggies and 20% meat fish.
Yeah.
More fish. Yeah.
And that's great. And like, I know that you've tried like all sorts of different things. So like someone like you who's like cooking for yourself, it's sometimes hard. Like I get a lot of people complaining like it's hard to cook for just one. How do you do it? So I'm hoping that today's recipe will help you like, like add to your roster of dishes. So today we're creating well, Lil has a lot of zucchinis in her fridge, and there's a good reason for that. I always talk about eating seasonally here on Mess and Misses. And now is the season for squash, all things squash. So, zucchini is a member of the squash family, FYI. If you didn't know that, now you do. So, if you love zucchini, if you love butternut squash, kabocha squash is actually the variety of squash that we have, yung kalabasa natin, sa English, ang pangalan niya ay kabocha squash. Now we know, now I know. And I learned that from my friend RG Enriquez over at Astig Vegan, because I didn't know that before. It's just kalabasa. Anyway, that's why you have a lot of zucchini, and that's why it's not so expensive now. Like it's in season, so it's a great time to use it. But because I am Mesa ni Mrs., I look for our local, very local things. You have zucchini, I am using sayote, also part of the squash family. And zucchini is, I'd say, sayote is zucchini's Filipino cousin. So I'm cooking with sayote today. Today we're making a sayote or zucchini au gratin. Now that's a ogratan. Ano pong ibig sabihin nun? It just means like cooked in milk and cooked in cream. And we're gonna do that in a healthy way that's super not fattening. So, Lil, are you ready with your zucchini?
Yep. Gonna chop it.
Have you started chopping it?
Not yet. Oh,
All right. So you can slice it and like lengthwise. So I don't know if you can see. I've got my mine here. I zoodled it, so it's quite fine.
could I use
You
my
don't have to
scissors?
do it as fine as that.
Is this
That's
okay?
good enough. Yeah, it looks now make it like thinner strips. Because we're gonna mix that up with the rice later.
Oh.
Okay, while she's chopping, since the Mesa ni Mrs. recipe calls for sayote, but know that you can substitute this with zucchini if you have it. Of course, sayote is presyong abot kaya, so I love sayote. It's super cheap, and contrary to what people think, it is not.
Here. Oh gosh, I can't hear. Again.
So putting it in a bowl, and then if I can find my salt.
Hi.
Are you okay?
I have salt from our friend Don. He makes salt now.
No way. I didn't know that.
From Pangasinan. So thanks,
Hit him
Don.
up for some salt then. Okay, so I put about teaspoon of salt. This is 4 sayotes that I've put in here. So I'm just gonna mix it so the salt goes in. And what I'm actually doing is we're draining the water out. Sayote carries a lot of water, and we're going to push that out using the salt. So this is the same technique that we use when you salt eggplants. You take the water out with the salt.
Yeah, my lunch today.
All right, what are you doing?
I'm putting
Okay, just put like, yeah, that much in
okay.
and mix it up. Okay, so we have roar. Sorry, am I saying it right? From Camiguin. Thanks for tuning in. Ano pong kinakain nyo ngayon? Please let us know. Or ano yung mga popular na vegetable po dyan? Hey, look, Papa's calling us. He's calling me. So let's say hi. Hi.
Right.
You're on my Kumu show right now, but I'm not gonna show the camera.
Who's that?
Guess who my guest is? Look who that is.
You kidding?
No, we're cooking together on my Kumu show. So yeah, I want to call you back in 45 minutes, if that's okay.
Okay.
All right, love you. Bye.
You.
Oh, I forgot to tell him. I forgot to tell him that we were doing this.
Let me do.
All right, what are you doing? Are you
Chop the onion.
okay? Yeah, good idea. You can do that now while we're waiting. Okay, I just want to show you guys what's happening here after I put the salt. Wait, let me move this down. There we go. The water is coming out of this. I don't know if you can see. See, nagtutubig na siya. And that's what we want. We want to remove the water um, from the sayote. So I'm just gonna keep mixing this. Actually, I don't have to mix it. It can just sit there. All right, let's see what. Are you chopping the onions?
Yeah.
You have some garlic too, right?
How much garlic again?
A couple of cloves, but I like to use a lot. I love garlic.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of water is going to come out from the sayote, and you're gonna end up, parang it's gonna shrink, liliit siya. So this takes a little bit of prep work, but it's all worth it in the end. Another thing you can do is, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna transfer this after it's salted. I'm gonna transfer it to a strainer. You can do that too, Lel. You can transfer your sayote if you have a strainer or your zucchini,
Yeah.
and you'll see all the water coming out like much easier.
Okay. Oh, I'm just doing the garlic.
Ooh, okay. What do I do? Okay, looks like my mic got cut off.
Hello?
Hi, what's happening? What are you doing?
I'm chopping the garlic.
Okay, go for it.
It's the most organized I've cooked. Actually, your book, I tried the recipes. It's really easy to follow. So that's good. Cause hello? Disappeared.
I, I'm here.
Okay, done.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I'm back. All right, okay, so you're done chopping the garlic and onions. We're just gonna push out. So I'm pushing out the water from the sayote here.
With a spoon.
And here, can you see? I'm pushing it out. So all the water should come out of your zucchini. Wow, see, I'll show you guys. It's a lot of water that came out from my sayote. Can you see? Or here, let's put it here. Can you see? That's a lot of water that came out. There, all coming out of the sayote.
Is it supposed to be that thin?
Yeah, that's great. That's fine. Whatever you can manage. Okay, you have your garlic and onions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start. You got your pan. Put in just a dash of oil, olive oil. coconut oil, whatever you have is fine.
It's the heat. It's not hot yet.
Okay. So heat it up, and we'll put that in. I gotta grab my apron. Don't worry. After this, we have like time to talk about your jewelry. So, well, okay. I guess we could talk about it while we're chatting, while we're preparing now. How many pieces are in your collection?
I think 18. I made mostly
Okay.
yeah, I made mostly necklaces. So
Okay.
there are about 10 of them, and 3 earrings, and two
Oh,
bracelets.
there we go.
There,
Can you
that's one of
see?
them.
There we go. We have some of your pieces there. I think necklaces are a big hit now because everyone's on Zoom and like, you just see half the body.
Yeah. That's the part. So I have a few. There are 7 designs that I'm gonna continue producing, but there's 3 limited edition ones. So
Oh, wow.
there are a few that I want to make like a little special, like this one that just came up.
Oh,
It's
that's gorgeous. What's that one called?
That one's rock steady. I'm only gonna make 3 of those. So, and
Yeah,
then
that looks hard.
I'll probably make like a little like new limited editions in the future. So it's nice. You can layer it and wear it every day, or even when you exercise.
Yeah, quite easy. Oh, wow. We have someone joining us, also named Juana. Shout out to mga tao taga Eastern Samar. Hello to everyone
Ooh,
in Eastern Samar. Kamusta na? Jenilyn, you're in Eastern
I like
Samar. Are you,
Eastern Samar. I
have
went.
you been there?
Yeah, I went to Giwan.
Oh, wow. Okay, anybody from Giwan out
Yeah,
there?
surf.
She's been there. Okay, so check your pan. It should be hot. I'm sure it's hot by now.
Well,
And just toss your onions in. My induction burns really fast, so trying to control the heat. So we've just put in a little bit of coconut oil, garlic, and onions, and that's it. That's all I put in.
all of it.
Yep.
It's not hot
I think
yet.
I forgot to mention to you the rice. It's not rice. It's bigas, so it needs to be raw.
What?
Yeah, it's raw.
I
Sorry,
it.
did you cook rice?
Yeah.
Oops.
I'll eat it later.
Yeah, so you need half a cup of your bigas. Mia, I think I need a bit more rice, please.
Said rice.
Like another half cup. Dagdagan mo na lang to. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I've put in my oil, my garlic, and my onions. You doing okay?
It's taking a while to get hot.
Oh, you know what? That dish is perfect. That can go straight in the oven. So that's what you'll do. Because that can go in the oven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just put that straight in. I should get one of those. That's a really good pan.
You gave it to me.
I did. Okay, now I'm gonna take yung bigas, so raw, uncooked rice, and I'm gonna put it in the pan. So I have 4 people to feed here. So instead of using a half cup of rice, I'm using a full cup of rice, and I'm just going to fry that. Just kind of stir fry it around with the oil and the garlic and the onions. I'm gonna add a dash of salt as well.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah. And don't worry, like it's gonna cook in your oven. So now you can see we're just slightly toasting the rice.
Did you say salt and pepper?
Just salt.
Oh,
A little bit dark for my rice, so add some light to my rice. There we go.
ta-da.
Okay, there. So it's just, you're just kind of like tossing it. Okay, now check your zucchini. How's it doing?
It's just here, my strainer.
Okay, did you push out a lot of water?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. We just need to toast the rice a little bit. We want it. The point of toasting the rice is to push out all the moisture, whatever moisture is there, and just like giving it like a protective coating, kind of, with charring it a little bit. And then we're gonna stick that all in the oven together.
Cool.
Okay, now add your zucchini, or in my case, sayote. Now don't throw away the liquid that um, that you had, because we're gonna add that later. I know it's such a funny process, right? Like we squeezed it out, but we're gonna put it back in, and it's just to do with, you don't want to cook your sayote with all the moisture inside it. You want the water and the moisture outside of it, so it acts like a broth or a soup to cook it.
It's okay like this. This thick. It's like 1 inch.
Yeah, it's fine. Preferably thinner, but that's what you have, and that's fine. You can make it thinner next time.
Huh.
It's your first time. Don't worry about it.
Oops.
Okay, so you guys can see my pot. I've got my pan. I've got sayote. I've got the rice. The rice is turning a little bit brown. Whoops. And you just want to toss that so that when you put everything in the pot, in the baking dish, you have a nice mix of rice in between your sayote. And that way, when you eat it, you have a mouthful of everything, and everything's nice and balanced. So the original recipe for this calls for cream and milk, but as you know, we don't cook with that because that's a lot of extra calories. It's a lot of extra cholesterol, which we don't want. Lil, you did a 30-day plant-based challenge, right? What was the
Yeah.
biggest change for you?
Um, aside from the weight loss, I think overall I felt lighter.
How
And
about in your blood work? Did you have like a change in your blood work?
I don't think I did the blood test.
Oh, you didn't.
Did
Okay.
it? Yo, this is crazy. Do I turn down heat?
You can turn down the heat a bit if it's getting like a lot. Is it sort of, is the
Like,
bigas turning a little bit brown?
yeah.
That's okay. Okay. Now you got your almond milk?
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
now pour it all over that.
Half cup.
Yeah, I'm good. Like I'm gonna need a little more because I have more. Mia, I need more almond milk, please. So I actually need a little more because I have a lot more rice. And then um, half a cup of plant-based cheese, and I'm gonna put that in as well. Okay, so I'm gonna add my milk here, and it says 1 to 1/2 cup of of milk, but you can add more. I'm gonna put in half of my plant-based cheese. The other thing I'm gonna add back is the water that I drained from the zucchini. Put that back in here. Okay. How are you doing?
I'm putting the cheese.
Okay. Did you add your milk already?
Yeah. Do I just sprinkle it? Like,
Can you see my dish, my pot? So your milk should be like that. You might have to add a bit.
I need more.
You can add water if you don't. That's another tip. You can add water if you're out of milk, or vegetable broth works really well too. Okay, so now she has got a cast iron pan, which are great to cook with. To just, I think every kitchen should have one cast iron pan. I don't have one. I think I'm gonna buy one after suggesting one. Anyway, so I'm gonna transfer this into my baking dish. So if you have a cast iron pan, you can actually cook everything there, but I don't have that. I do want one now.
More milk.
Yeah, you could add a little bit. You just want it kind of like floating around, because remember, you're cooking this in the oven. So you don't want it to like dry out or burn out.
Here. It's hot.
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
More?
A little more, just a little tiny more, because you don't want that to burn later. And I'm topping this with cheese, the other half of my cheese. And you want to push it down because your cheese will be the first to burn in your oven. So spread that out nicely. One last dribble of seasoning. Now remember, don't over season, especially if the cheese you're using is already salty. So I think you're using raclette. That's very flavorful, right?
Yeah, forget the sauce.
Oh, that's going to be really good, raclette. So I'm going to show the audience what this looks like. So this is what it looks like in the casserole dish. A little bit of the milk. Can you see, Lil?
Yeah, yours looks
All
nice.
right. I'm going to stick this in the oven now. And when you're ready, you can do the same. So I've preheated my oven. I'll stick that in. Hopefully this finishes before the show's done. Okay. If you're using a casserole dish like I am, you can even grease it with butter, or if you don't use butter, you can use olive oil, just so that it doesn't stick. I'm gonna move this so that I can see you and chat with you here. Okay. So is it in the oven?
Yes.
And what is are you centigrade or Fahrenheit?
What's that?
Is your oven centigrade or Fahrenheit?
Centigrade.
Okay, you need to put that to about 250. Turn mine up. So centigrade, about 250, Fahrenheit, 475 to 500, depending on how efficient your oven actually is.
Okay.
All right. Now we can talk about your collection. So you mentioned you have 10 necklaces. Is that right? 10.
Yes, 10.
Tell us a bit about just like your artistry, your artwork, because people who are watching, I'm sure, may not be super duper familiar with you. So tell us how you started out, because you didn't always do jewelry, right?
No, I started out doing products. So I studied product design. So that involves like anything from cars to home accessories, but obviously like I'm drawn more to home accessories and accent furniture. So um but I did play a little bit with jewelry when I was a kid, and that's something I've always wanted to try. So a few years ago, I had a bit of a creative block, so I started taking jewelry lessons here in a metalsmithing studio, and in UP, it's called Studio 925. So they're really great teachers, and from there, I got my ideas going again, and I really love metal. So
By the way, she is a proud scholar ng bayan for
yeah.
UP.
I
For
love
anyone
UP.
who's watching
I
out
learned
there.
so much in UP. It's like you're so resourceful there, and everyone's so creative. So it was a good environment to learn how to, make with what you have, and just be really creative from there. Yeah.
If we have any fighting maroons, mga taga UP, give us a shout out. We'd love to hear from you. Have an alumni of industrial design right here. So I know you like you paint, you have sculptures. All right, here we have our first from Como, UP
Oh,
fight.
Yahoo!
Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so all of all of your artistry, all your work, you did learn at UP. I think that's super valuable for you, right?
Yeah, super. Like I had great teachers there who really taught me how to do things with my hands. So
Yeah.
we learned how to sculpt, we learned how to form things just with our hands. And I think that's something I carry on with my furniture and even my jewelry.
Yeah, all of this looks um handmade, and it is. Like I know you do all of this by hand, so really great work that you learned there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I oh, good. Oh, are you gonna say something?
no, I'm watching the pretty pictures.
Oh, okay. No, what I do there is because like when you cast brass, you have to carve it out in wax first. So that's what I do. Like all of those components can be multiplied, but the actual handiwork in the form I do myself. So it's like
Right,
it's half handmade, it's half made in mass, which is the beauty of casting. You can multiply everything. So I
right.
like that aspect of like having my hand because I draw a lot, so I want to translate my drawings into different applications. So this is my first application, which is in cast silver and then plated in gold.
Wow. Was there
Yeah,
anything that's particularly difficult to make in this collection?
that bracelet. the so I start out with like really nice ideas, and then when I actually make it, I see how hard it is, but then I don't know. Well, I'll point it out when the bracelet comes out, but it was tricky because the metal was thicker, the silver was thicker. This one,
Is this one?
yeah, I think that's the most physically challenging one to make, just because you have to bend metal that thick and kind of fire everything properly. So,
Wow,
but
so you actually bend that like
yeah, I bet
into
that.
the shape of an arm?
Yeah, so I mean, like the process of jewelry making, what's another nice thing about it is it hasn't changed throughout the years. It's the same techniques. It's just the tools have gotten a little more sophisticated. So that's what I really like about jewelry. The process hasn't really changed from, like the olden days, like the Romans. We still make it that way.
Well,
Yeah.
tell us a bit about your website. And by the way, everything you're seeing here that's flashing on your screen is available on lilianamanahan.com. It's a shopping site. So
Yeah.
don't hesitate. Click and buy.
Thanks. Yes.
And I might add, the prices are very, very affordable. It's for everybody, really. So I love this collection because hindi siya masakit pag pag bumili ka, and it really lasts a long time, and they're so unique. You will not find anybody else unless we're all friends
Yeah.
who has the same kind of thing. So, do you want to share your price range with everyone?
Sure. Most of them range from well, in dollars, like 100 to about $250.
Mhm.
So that's like 4 to 9,000. Yeah,
Yeah,
depending on the rate. But so I just wanted, I love jewelry that kind of lies in between. You can like wear during the day and during the night. It'll look the same. So it's kind of the place I wanna play around it with the jewelry. Yeah.
yeah, and I swam with it. Exercise, it's totally fine. Hindi ka matatakot na mawala or masira
It's
or any
matibay.
of that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
again, for especially for OFW friends and Filipinos living abroad, please do check this out. You can email her to place your order. Can they customize
Right.
things? Like,
Uh
not really.
Not, I'm looking into it. But for now it's this. But I definitely wouldn't mind if someone asked me if I could do custom thing for them. I'm open to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so for our Filipinos abroad, if you're looking for a unique gift by a Filipino designer, please check out lilianamanahan.com. I'd love the whole set, like earrings, necklace,
Then you can
bracelet.
layer it. I like layering. So another thing I like people to do is make their own combinations, and I'm all about creativity. So it's nice to see how people put it together with their other things, and yeah, it's just
Yeah, like
fun.
how they'd wear it, right? Like how their own like interpretation of it.
Yeah. So yeah,
But what
these.
are you wearing now? We can't. Can you come closer? We
Oh,
want to see it.
oh gosh, how do you? There.
No,
This
that's fine. We
is
can see.
called Lovely Day. Um, and I'm trying out the earrings. This one's supersonic. So it's more of a wait. Where is it? There.
Oh, and you've
Ah,
got a bracelet as well.
yeah, I'm wearing a little bangle. So
Those
this
are
one's part of
stackable,
a
I know, right? Stackable
yeah, it's part
bangles.
of a bangle set.
Perfect.
Called something good. So I just like jewelry. I like gold, and I like people that have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like that stuff isn't, it's dip dip in gold, but it's super matibay also, right?
Yeah. So you'll see all of
Okay.
it on the website along with all the other things I've done before. Because it's partly gallery, but it's also really my shopping and whatever.
Do you
Okay.
still paint a lot? Like what, like during lockdown, I know you had an exhibit. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that was pushed. That was supposed to be in March 2020, but it got pushed till like a year later. And what I
Wow.
did there was I tried to introduce people to what I want to do in the future, which is I like working with papers. I've been painting on paper, jewelry, and accent pieces. So that's what I presented during the exhibit last March 2021. It was like a little
So it's a
cap.
whole year delayed.
Yeah, but it worked out well. I would say it
Did
worked
you
out.
add pieces to that, or is it like the same stuff that
For
you're
that,
originally supposed to show?
I had a whole different concept, but pre-lockdown, so I had to change the whole concept. But it turned out well, I would say. Yeah.
I find that so interesting. Can you tell us about yeah, that whole process?
About making the work? Or
No, your exhibit, like you had to make do with whatever was there, right?
oh yeah. Okay, so in lockdown, like everything was closed, so the only thing left was Art Whale. They were delivering stuff. It's another supply store in UP Village. So I saw they had paper, and then I rummaged through all my supplies here, and I had a lot of paint. I had a lot of metal leaf, and I had a lot of wax for carving. So that's what I worked with. It kind of reminds me. Remember Ready Steady Cook, the show?
Yes, that's kind of what I feel like every time I'm in the kitchen.
Yeah. So
So wait,
that
Ready Steady Cook is a British cooking show. So we studied in England, and it's something that we would watch in the afternoons. And what was it? Like they just had like a pile of ingredients that
like a
parang
bag.
may time limit, like 30 minutes. Like
So like
here's what you have and cook with it.
there are two contestants, and they would buy whatever and then switch bags. And then
Oh, okay. So somebody else
yeah,
would choose it, right?
yeah, so you choose. You'd have to cook with whatever's in the bag of the other guy.
Yeah,
So
there.
so that's how I
That's
felt.
hilarious.
Yeah, that's how I felt during lockdown. I had to like just figure out what I had here and then make something.
Oh, there you
Oh,
are. We've flashed it on screen.
yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So there, that's the concept of ready, steady, cook. You're given a bag of things, you don't know what's in it, and you just have to cook.
Yeah, but
So
their
that's kind of
recipes
like how you
look so
felt.
good. Yeah, their recipes look so good in the end, and then you realize, oh, I can do that. So that's how I approached my work.
We're like ready, steady, cook.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, wait. Before we burn stuff, check on check on your casserole.
Smells good. What's it supposed
Does
to
it
look?
smell good?
Yeah, is it supposed to be like mushy or
Wear your gloves. It's hot.
oh, not gloves? Ooh, want to see it?
I do want to see it.
I'm not gonna hold it, but uh, see it.
Get your pot holder.
Can you see it?
Yeah, is the water coming out of it already?
Oh shoot! Was I supposed to put the water?
No, you put milk. I mean, sorry, is the liquid evaporating? No, I think
Yeah.
you don't. I don't think you had to add water.
Oh, it looks crunchier. Yeah.
Okay, it's super crunchy.
No, no, this right.
Whoa. Okay, so how long have we been chatting? It's been about 20 minutes, I'd say.
It's kind of mushy, but
That's okay. So I'm going to switch over to my other camera because this has, I'm just going to toss it. So you can check on it once in a while. So what's happening here, what's happened with mine is that the rice on top kind of like got crunchy. So I'm just gonna toss it. It can happen sometimes. It won't be like perfect. And again, remember it's a little different cooking with plant-based milk and plant-based cheese. If you're using real cheese and like dairy cheese and like cow's milk, that actually has fat that's going to coat it, but this doesn't have fat. So it will tend to burn a little faster. And this is a neat trick that I learned making this a couple of times. You just flip it over so that you don't see the burnt part, but also so that the stuff below gets cooked.
I think mine has fat. Do I have to stir it?
Yeah, you're using real cheese, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
So
I have to stir it?
you have to what? Sorry.
Do I have to stir it also? Or no?
No, is it looking like burned on top or no?
It looks golden.
That's okay.
Okay.
Yours probably will like get a really nice crisp because you're using cow's milk.
Mm.
Okay, so the for those of you tuning in just now, so Blake has asked, looks delicious. What is it? So we created a sayote au gratin or a sayote casserole, and we're posting the recipe up on Mesa ni Mrs. today. If you follow the Mesa ni Mrs. Instagram at Mesa ni Mrs., you'll see all the new recipes that we're coming up with and that we're creating there. And then on mesanimrs.com, we'll show you the full recipe. And today is a bonus because we're actually cooking and you've learned the recipe today.
Yeah.
This is like a really new recipe.
Well, I haven't eaten lunch, so that's good.
So I guess this is lunch.
Lunch.
Do you feel that the rice is cooking under, like it's getting soft?
Let me check. I think so.
You don't want it too mushy, like no liquid floating. Should all just sort of be absorbed by the rice. Sorry?
Still liquidy. Oh, nice. It looks
Yeah.
okay on one side. The other side's liquidy. The other side not.
Just flip it around. Sometimes like oven, like the heat is not super even. Um, Another way you can do this, if you don't have an oven, you can cook it on your stove top and you just cover um, cover the top with foil. That's another way to do it. Definitely, since it's not heat, it's not convection heat that's all around, you'll definitely have to flip it. You'll have to mix it a little bit, but then just leave it flat. Don't mix it once and then leave it. So it's kind of like cooking a risotto. You don't really stir. You just let it sit and have all the liquid absorb. But yes, so that was Liliana's story behind her collection. I'm probably her number one fan, but also super biased, but that's okay. So please do check out liliannamanahan.com. And yeah, I hope you learned how to cook today. And I'm gonna pull out my casserole before we go.
Are we gonna try it?
You can. I would love to see yours. Oh gosh, this is hot.
I think it looks okay.
It looks good. Yours looks good.
Ooh, jeez.
So I'm sure your cheese is like nice and gold on top.
Here.
Ooh, that looks perfect. Wait, I'm gonna take a picture.
Cheesy.
Oh wow, that looks good. Why did I do that? I can actually screenshot this on my Kumu app. Duh. So yeah, your zucchinis are a little chubby.
Yeah.
So they're not like spread around, and that's fine. Like it takes, I get it. Like some people don't have time to like make it thin. It's fine. You can make it fat. You can make it thin. It's better thin. And the
I thought
reason
it
for that is, huh?
I thought it was gonna be like a lasagna. So
Oh
I didn't.
no. Like this is like a casserole. So I'll show you mine. So I use plant-based cheese and plant-based milk. So and then I stirred it up. So here I have the bits that are crunchy. on top. And the reason you want to mix it up nice like that is so that with every bite, you have a little bit of everything. Do you want to try yours?
Yeah.
All
Let me
right,
get
let's
a
try it.
plate.
So yes, you can make this well full cream and full fat butter. But of course, at Methane Mrs., we prefer plant-based ingredients. So I've used, in a nutshell, Parmesan cheese. Sometimes I use, in a nutshell, mozzarella cheese, and that makes it a bit gummy and nice and sticky. But I didn't have that, so I used the Parmesan and almond milk. All right, ready to taste?
So that's this is what it feels like to be in the cooking shows, pala.
Right? You want to taste it?
Mm.
Mmm,
No, it's really good.
masarap.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Oh shoot, I can make this. But this is like food for 3 days for me. So
That's
how do
good.
I reheat it?
All right, we're out of time, but not out of food and never out of good ideas. Thank you for joining us today on Messing and Mrs. My special guest, Miss Liliana Manahan. Do check out her recipe, lilianamanahan.com, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.